Dr. Brown, you gotta watch your people getting off the reservation.
They tricked her and told her. Yeah, she wanted to do that. We got around the middle and take her down in there. You gonna take it straight across. She said, never mind, mama. She didn't tell us. You don't have to worry about nobody.
Where's the, is it low to the floor?
You put some of you in there. Yes, in out the board. You can't. If you walk in, you can't go this way. Right. And it was at Lanier. If you walk in downtown,
In other words,
you can't go to
this
the right.
individual decided,
What is, over their faces, is it low?
Tricked her. Oh no, it's not.
retire.
She has a 4-year degree.
Yeah, that's what we get there. Thank you.
Too high.
That's too high. It would have to be at least low as the table.
Might be a work on you.
They'll have to block it off, but it's too high. Oh, okay. Well, then it might be fine, because they're gonna get raised up. They'll be raised up.
Yeah, no question, real well.
The mics are on, hold on one second.
She has a curl right there.
I just wanna make sure that everything's we're testing, so just make sure.
Testing.
No mute, should see raised. Okay,
Testing, testing.
no test on, no test.
Yeah, green.
Please don't talk. Hello? 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 Can you hear? Hello? Lisa, please be quiet.
Good afternoon. The October 30th special call meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Education will come to order. Good afternoon, everyone, again, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Please remember to mute all electronic devices. A majority of our voting members shall constitute a quorum. There are 7 members present today. I declare a quorum is present. At this time, we will move for the approval of our agenda. The agenda has been posted for our review. If there is no objection, we will adopt this agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Are there objections? The agenda is adopted. Today should be a very short but fruitful meeting. We will receive as information one item. That item to be received is going to be presented at this time. Again, it is for information only. It is a resolution requesting a continuation of a tax that funds education. At this time, we call to the podium Mr. Watts. Thank you. Are there questions of Mr. Watts? Are there questions? Hearing none, we thank you again, Mr. Watts. Okay, we have 2 items to consider for approval. The first is going to be that resolution requesting an ad valorem tax. Dr. Brown.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to recommend to the board to approve the resolution requesting the ad valorem tax renewal to go on the ballot for 2025, I believe it is.
I move that we approve, accept the superintendent's recommendation for the resolution requesting ad valorem tax renewal election.
I second.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that we do accept the recommendation of our superintendent to approve the placing of the renewal of a tax for education on the ballot. Is there discussion or debate?
Yes, I have something.
Dr.
I think, it's not that I'm totally against it. I just don't think there's enough information that we know about this, and I'll tell you why. I know it's a renewal. I know it came from 2004, but we do, just several reasons. We don't have an attorney that we can go to and we can ask for their advice on this. And when we need things quickly, we do it quickly. We've been asking for an attorney for I don't know how long, and for me, I wanted that. Also, I looked at where this money was going, and it was all salaries. And yeah, those salaries are there for our students, but I didn't hear anything academics. And Mr. Watts, no, I don't mean any offense in any way, because you're probably one of my favorite people, but we kind of got into a issue the last meeting where we had compared our salaries to Birmingham, Madison, blah, blah, blah. And I just don't feel like enough has been done. We talked about how you could shorten the days to help pay salaries. I think if I knew more, I'm on the cusp of voting for it. I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other, but I don't have enough information personally to make an ad valorem tax vote right now.
Thank you. Others? Yes.
Okay, I also have a statement, please. We looked at something was sent, and it was said needs assessment ad valorem taxes. It had a list of items, of units. It had what it was, but it didn't have any financial funding attached to it. I was concerned about that. You know, if we've had it since 2004, what have we been using these funds for, and why didn't we get that information to say, here's where those funds have been going tentatively, here's what we've been doing tentatively. Things might change, but at least we'd have a baseline, because I have no idea what the plans are for this ad valorem tax.
And one other thing, if I can add this, Madam President, I got 3 calls this weekend. I did not, because I was not at home in town to get how much I owe for taxes. I did find out last night. But there are a lot of people that said I know this has nothing to do with it, but the new taxes, people's taxes went up 48%. My ex-boss at South University, because I said, well, Vic, give me an example. He said they were 700, they were 600, now they're 900. And I just think, just having enough, will there be more people that are calling? So before I vote on any tax, even though it's a renewal, I don't know enough about this to make the vote. And that's my final, whatever.
Thank you. Are there other persons to discuss?
Is it appropriate to allow Mr. Watts to provide any additional information?
At this,
If I can add, our district's been underfunded since 2004, when this was initially in place. The ad valorem that was done a few years back was to play catch-up from things that should have been done years ago. And I think we've been pretty aware of all of that, as well as our public. How that tax impacted this tax, the two were not related. These are taxes that have been used for numbers of different things since 2004, and I don't know if anybody in this room is able to give a litany of how that's been used each year since then. But this, again, I just want to stress, is a renewal of monies that are already in the coffers, that are already been deployed for student advocacy in order to provide resources for the district to move forward. So I don't know what specifics I could give today, but I do know that there's a deadline to get this on the ballot so that folks could consider it in 2025.
and
24, excuse me. If I may just add, Dr. Brown, Pike Road, this is a tax resolution for both Montgomery and Pike Road. The Pike Road Board has already approved this resolution, has already sent petitions out, and also have gotten voters from Pike Road to also help support this tax. So it's a combination of both Montgomery and Pike Road. I would also just add that, and I hate that you will have some folks that try to confuse this tax with the vote that took place a few years ago. And I'm not saying any of you guys are doing that, but some people are trying to do that, and I know that that's happening. Again, this is a renewal. And Dr. Brown, I do want to say that, Montgomery has been funded the least amount in the state of Alabama. The least amount in the state of Alabama. So to say that this is additional monies, I just don't think that's a fair assumption or a fair assessment. These are monies, again, there's a renewal to just help us meet the baseline to where we were, which was already at the bottom.
And so, you know, we're trying to now to do some things, put some things in place, so that we can do some things and provide our students the opportunities that they deserve, such as these other school districts. And that's all we're trying to do here, Dr. Brown.
And if I may say one thing, I hope nobody thinks that I'm trying to stop or think, or play around thinking this is extra. You've made it very clear that this is a renewal from 2004. If I have an objective tonight, the objective is to say that the board having an attorney that we have waited so that I can go or we can go to anytime we have a problem, maybe this will get somebody attention, at least me not voting.
And as we attempt to move forward, and we will work on that other issue, that's a promise. But one of the things I'd like to say, and this is not entering into debate, it's just a fact, that if we do not move forward, we are looking at taking our district backwards from what I heard, 10.5 to $11 million, so.
Okay, I have one statement. We're talking about how this is going to, bottom line, affect student achievement. That's what this is all about. That's what we need to be all about in this district. I ask for progress report, just a generalization on elementary, middle, and high school when progress report came out. I asked for report cards, 9 weeks. It's now been passed. It's going into the second 9 weeks to the midpoint. I asked just for general information on how the students were doing elementary, middle, and high. I have yet to get that information. I'm wanting to give everything we can, but at the end of the day, how do we know how effective it's going to be? We're getting all of these salaried people. I think I looked at what was given to me, then I was told it's not correct, but I like to know how our children are doing, because whether or not we see it or not, or don't want to acknowledge it, our children in the past have not been successful in their academic endeavors, and I wanted to know after the first 3 weeks or after the first 9 weeks how we've got our finger on the pulse for these children, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Not putting people in place or innovative ideas, which is important, but their academic success is my heartache and my prayers every day.
As I've shared previously, that report is actually on the board agenda for November, which will be in just 2 short weeks. So that information is forthcoming.
Thank you. Are there other questions, debates, discussion?
Yeah, I would just like to say, it's the 10.5 to 11 million is it for me. Because I don't understand in one breath how we say we're going to do the best thing for these children and then don't provide a resource to do it with. We're trying to educate the entire child. We're trying to take care of mental health, academics, home life. We're trying to feed them. We can't afford not to put this money in place. We're trying to get our secretaries paid, our staff paid in a way that makes us, makes us competitive with other districts. And we can't do it without something. So either we better have a better idea, or we might better think about this one.
I want to kind of piggyback off of Mr. Watts. For so long, we've been such an underfunded district. Not only being underfunded, but we've still, and this is just throughout the state of Alabama, have not recovered from the recession, proration, excuse me, of 2008. And we're really have always been kind of chomping at the bit and tightening our purse strings to do what we need to do for children. And I think that we have to take all that into consideration. Everything else we can discuss, as Dr. Brown said, later. But this is about supporting something that will help to support our students. And if we keep that at the center of it, I think we can all make a proper and good decision for the students and for our district. Because those were some hard times. Mr. Weiss can probably attest to that, having to budget and finance with a little money and trying to do so much. So this is an opportunity where we can keep the ball rolling in a good direction.
Okay. I think I sort of polled, and there's no further discussion. All those in favor, we'll call for the question at this time. All those in favor of adoption, please raise your hands. It passes. The next item, personnel minutes, certified personnel report. Dr. Brown.
Madam President, I recommend for approval the personnel minutes, certified personnel.
You've heard the recommendation of the superintendent. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for personnel, certified personnel.
I second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for the certified personnel report. Is there discussion? Is there discussion? Hearing none, we call for the question at this time. All those in favor of adopting the report, raise your hands. Again, it passes. The ayes have it. And this was a special call meeting. Those are the only items to be discussed. The next regularly scheduled work session and board meeting will be held November 14th here at our Leadership Center. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Brown, board members. This meeting is adjourned.